Welcome back to Beards and Brews. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button and ring that bell so you know when we have another one brewing. Fellas, this week's movie is going to be The Mask of Zorro.
Well, I forgot this movie existed.
Hell yeah.
Z for Vendetta was very informative, and also Desperado with a sword was a good time.
Ooh. I take a slash at that one. It's been a good while since I've seen this movie, and I forgot how fucking fun it was.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know if I've seen this movie before. If I did, I saw it back in 1998 upon its release on videotape.
Videotape? What is that, Chandler?
But yeah, this movie was a lot of fun. I didn't even remember that it existed, but damn, I'm into this.
We're going to draw a lot of parallels to other movies, but this is basically just like a Spanish mummy.
What I think this is the perfect in-between. What came before this was The Princess Bride, and what came after this was The Pirates of the Caribbean. This is like the middle evolution of those movies.
Yes. This is also Aladdin in Mexico.
Also, I talk about geography a lot. I don't actually know where this movie takes place. They talk a lot about Mexico and California.
California.
It's somewhere in that area. Yeah, but California was a big block of space at that point in time.
True.
And
yeah, they showed the map, and it's fucking California is the entire West.
It's the West Coast
Yeah.
and some of what we know is Mexico now. All of that is California. I don't know where we are in that. It looks pretty deserty.
As big as it is on the map, it's just they have their bases covered. Just California almost has an opinion.
We're somewhere in there. It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Let's just swing some swords or something.
Speaking of swinging swords, okay, this Batman / James Bond style intro was okay. Got me as soon as it happened. I was like, oh shit.
Got the lit from behind his silhouette and everything. He does a little hi-ya, his Z.
I just want to carve a little Z in the background.
It'll do. Yeah, but the opening scene of this movie reminds me straight up of not the closing scene, but it reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean. Once they've caught Jack Sparrow and they're about to execute him, it's like that. Everybody's crowded around, and maybe somebody's about to save him. We don't know.
They even allude to it immediately. They go, "Oh no, all this is going to happen. Hopefully Zorro doesn't show up. He won't show up. He'd never show up here."
Yeah, as Zorro's just sauntering through a crowd. It's man, I hope no one notices me. And the kid just notices him. He's shh, I'm only Zorro.
But no, I feel the beginning of that scene through the middle toward the end, I'm just what's going on here? I don't know. Toward the end, it's oh, this was a lure. They were just gonna execute these three randos as a lure to get Zorro in here.
And boy, did it work.
Zorro stabs a man in the butthole. Can we talk about
I wonder
this?
how long it's going to take for us to get to that. Because he totally does. When the swashbuckling commences, it's fucking great. It's a lot of fun. He's just slapping swords with everybody he comes across. It doesn't make any sense because it's in the same vein of in an action movie where a guy can punch out three dudes in the same time. He could just swipe his sword and three dudes will just fly away Wah!
Yeah, it's 80s action schlock with a sword. Instead of Arnold Schwarzenegger shooting from the hip, he just swings the sword and everyone's die.
Also, instead of the 80s movies, it's 1880s action.
Yes.
And I'll tell you, as far as film goes, when I hear the name Zorro, I think immediately that's Antonio Banderas. Antonio Banderas is Zorro. Zorro is Antonio Banderas. So when we get to this little scene where Zorro sort of encounters these two kids that are, I get throwing fruit or whatever down at the crowd, and they square into his face, and it's Anthony Hopkins, I'm what?
Yeah. Antoine Banana Hands hasn't even showed up yet.
Oh man. But even though that he's an older Zorro, proto Zorro, if you want to, he has some suave to him. He's walking up on this dude, the bad guy, who turns out to be the governor of California, insert name here, it doesn't matter. He's listen, man, you gotta stop all the murdering and the killing and the murdering.
God damn it, Jerry Brown.
Please don't kill me. I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to carve a little Z in your neck.
And maybe also in your butthole. I've got incredible control over my sword.
Yeah, poor dude he just practiced on because damn, I felt super bad for him. Like one dude got like thrown into a gallows which wasn't even locked, and the guy was just like, okay, I'm just gonna pretend that I can't move because he didn't want to get stabbed in the asshole.
Oh, he's coming back for him. He's already in the fucking presenting position.
Yeah, so this whole thing was to set up, you know, a lure for Zoro. You know, they're gonna execute these three like whatevers. The whole reason was to get Zoro in because he's a menace. He's like this vigilante
Yes.
sort of guy. Yeah. So they want to arrest Zoro, and this is how they're gonna do it. And it completely fails. Because Zoro is Zoro.
Well, with the scenes that are like coming up shortly, I feel like they kind of already knew who he was, and this lore was just there for like an action set piece. You know, and it's cool.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. You know, he's swashbuckling, he's zip lining around and all kinds of fancy stuff. Some kids kill a bunch of guys. They're murderers now. But like I feel like it's they kind of already had that information, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But as I mentioned, that little encounter up on the rooftop with the kids, there's like two, like, I don't know, 10, 11-year-old boys. That would be my guess on their ages. And it's like, hey, thanks for throwing some fruit. Here's this silver medallion for one of you. I don't really have anything for the other, so
Yeah.
split
Is
it
that
or
li-
something.
Is that like a thing that he gave out like all the time? He always just had like this big silver medallion. Looked pretty expensive and intricate, and he just had that shit to hand out to kids who just threw tomatoes at people.
That's the prize you get for helping Zoro. It's like the little thing they hand out on Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah, that's how you get rid of the temple guard.
Exactly.
Oh no. Like he's handing out medallions, Batman's handing out dead parents. It works out.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this word in Spanish for the next bit whenever he goes to the Bat Cave. And I was going to use the Spanish word for bat. But man, it's really hard to say.
Murciélago.
So we go to the Bat Cave.
Yeah.
Like it.
Wait, what does that mean? Because lago is lake in Spanish. What does bat mean in Spanish?
It is the Lake of the Sky.
Is it really? Are you making that shit up?
It's Spanish for a whale's vagina.
Oh shit. That finally solves the question, where does this take place? It's obviously San Diego now. Thanks for that, Eric.
San Diego.
Would he be Morse El Lago Hombre? Would that be Batman in Spanish?
It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Nope. You know what does though? Hey, you guys! Because they're down in the sewers of the Bat Cave, and fuck, is it nice down there?
This is a nice little house. Like, the cave is set up nice. It's nicely furnished. Once he goes through the cave into the Bat Mansion.
Yeah, it's definitely just like Bruce Wayne's manor. He has a cool training area downstairs, sans Zorro-mobile. And he goes upstairs to his little bouncing baby girl. And he's just like, I don't know, throwing flowers in her face.
Yeah, because he's got to flavor her, because he's going to eat her liver with a side dish of fava beans and a nice tequila.
Beautiful.
But instead of eating the baby, he goes on to eating his wife's face in that makeout scene.
Dude, it was such a just like a moment, He just takes a whole bite of her face.
And here we have another just sort of, this is not what I was expecting to happen, judging by who I know is in this movie. Like, you see this gorgeous brunette who has, like, this Spanish tone to her. That's not Catherine Zeta-Jones. That's some other bitch. I don't know who she is, but, I mean, she's pretty. Definitely she is a pretty woman, but this is his wife, Esperanza.
Ah, yes. A name just rolls off the tongue.
Esperanza.
Can we discuss that an entire army snuck into his living room?
No, I really wanted to discuss that because, they're making out, they're having a good time. Just like, oh man, we love each other so much. We have this baby. We're going to live to our old age and just take care of this young child. And then like hard cut to like 4 feet to their right, the entire Californian army.
Yeah, I don't know how they got in so quietly. They're all, fully armed. They've got their, I'm not going to say armor, but they've got guns and shit. But here they are just like standing there like, gotcha now, bitch.
Then Anthony Hopkins turns over and he's like, who are you? How did you get in here? And the governor of California is like, I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.
And also your door was unlocked.
Also, you don't have doors. It's just a cave.
A cave of wonders.
Now,
That's
can
that
we
pussy.
talk? Oh man, can we talk about how he discovers that he is Zorro? He's like, "You're Zorro, aren't you?" Let me double check by grabbing your arm wound. And Anthony Hopkins.
Oh
acting,
my god.
Anthony Hopkins acting in this moment is shuddering. He gets grabbed on his arm wound, and he's like,
Well, the arm wound itself is really just weird. Like, how do you get injured that deeply by a sword and not bandage it up or anything? You just put on a nice clean shirt and be like, oh, ship's ship.
I didn't even notice it when it happened. I don't know how it happened. If it happened, I don't know. Didn't notice it. And then the wife is just like, "Oh, you are wounded."
But like it was such a big wound. Captain California walks up. He like squeezes his arm and makes it bleed horribly. It's like,
"Yeah, like it would fall off if he squeezed it just a little bit more tightly."
It's like
Yeah.
a fucking like 15 ketchup packets just gripped in your hand.
but I forgive the absurdity because they have like a mano y mano moment where like everybody just has these like sawed off shotguns. He's like, no wait, do not shoot him. That'd be too easy. I want to sword fight him and I want you to watch him kick my ass.
Okay, fencing. This movie has a ton of it, and I can honestly say every scene that involves the fencing is really fucking good. These people put
It's
in
a lot
work.
of fun. Yeah, for sure.
Mm.
For sure.
I don't know if CGI was good enough so they can just slap a face onto a body double or whatever, but every scene that involves the fencing, you get to see like Anthony Hopkins' face while he's fencing. You get to see Antoine Banana Hand's face while he's fencing. Catherine Zeta-Jones, her face is even there when she's fencing, and she looks like she's having a fucking blast. And I appreciate that these actors put in the work, and not only did they put it in, but it looks great.
This is one of those moments where like the actors are not only having fun, but they also respect the source material. So they went that extra mile to go ahead and just like put in the months of training, probably.
Yeah, so while they're dueling, one of the fellows with the shotguns is like, "Okay, I'm tired of this. I'm going to blast you." And the guy's like, "No!" And Pretty Lady dives in front of the gun, and she gets killed so hard that she doesn't bleed.
Yeah, she gets blasted in the back with like a blunderbuss.
Yeah, yeah.
Drop of blood anywhere. But like that aside, that's ridiculous and kind of silly. But Governor of California, man, turns around immediately and just guts him.
Yeah, like what he had said before, the governor of California is like, "I would never do anything to harm her." And then one of his guys is like, "But I would." Pow.
know this
Sorry.
Look, man, my show's about to be on in 20 minutes.
Yeah, we can't be spending all night here. We got shit to do. And then
Oh.
governor's just like, sorry, I'm going to have to leave you. No, that was a different time. Never mind."
Anyways, he punches out cold Anthony Hopkins. He wakes up in a cage. He's like, "Let me hold my daughter." And he goes, "No. As punishment, I'm going to raise your daughter." Mwahahaha.
"I want you to live with the knowledge that you have lost everything that you hold dear."
It's almost like a supervillain moment because you get Anthony Hopkins behind bars and like his entire estate's on fire because of a candle. And he just walks outside in like a Sith Lord fucking hood or whatever with his like child in his hand. He's like, "Look, this is mine."
Yeah, I kind of forgot that the entire place caught on fire just from like one candle. And
Yeah.
this place looks like it's made out of like marble or some shit. So I don't really know how it's burning to the ground. Like
Nah.
maybe the curtains are on fire, but
We'll run into that quite a bit talking about this movie because it seems like a lot of places were built with gunpowder and flash paper.
yeah. So Anthony Hopkins, Zorro, he is imprisoned. Elena, the daughter, as a baby, is taken by the governor, Montero. And that's where we are right now.
But no, it's like hard cut to 20 years later.
A little bit later in the very same place.
And we see like Antonio Banderas and his brother Tonio Banderas. I don't know. They're just kind of hanging out with this like old man who's got some fucking tunes, singing up a storm, Three Finger Jack or something like that.
Yeah, Three Finger Jack. It's the man with number of fingers other than how many he's supposed to have, just like the Princess Bride.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
And they trick the militia guards here. They're like, "Maha, you'll never bother this village again. Whatever, give us fruit. We're leaving now on this cart." And not only are we leaving on this cart and establish that we are good Robin Hood-esque types,
Yes, sir.
Miguel from Tremors is there to see them off.
Oh, I was wondering where I saw that guy from. Because I know it was like I kept seeing this guy's like, how come off-brand Cheech Marin wants this?
They like this tractor? They can have it.
But like, the fellas kind of get away. They steal a horse, they steal a carriage, and they hop on board to their next Robin Hood-esque job. But no, immediately fucking halted by the current California militia or whatever. Helmed by Blondie, or whatever we're going to call him.
Blondie. I'm calling him Blondie. He looks like, I don't know. He's got like this Thor look going to him, but he's not like strong. He's just like blonde.
Dude, he's like He-Man wearing a Union outfit with a goatee.
Oh. So he's General Custer.
Ooh.
Captain Crunch, God damn it.
Captain
Crunch.
Anyways, the Union boys show up and they start blasting.
Yeah, they kill old, Three-Finger Jack or whatever. Well, we find out later he's not dead, but he gets basically mortally wounded. The brothers run off into the desert because where are you gonna go? And Antonio Banderas' brother gets shot in the butt or something, the hip. He's out of commission.
Yeah, something jumped up and bit him in the buttocks, Lieutenant Dan.
I don't know, but is this a scene where they get captured or the other brother with the medallion gets captured and is like, run? So he tells Antonio Banderas to run, and he's just like, all right, I'm going to shoot myself instead of get captured.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a cool scene. So, his wounded brother, immobilized, can't go anywhere. And the soldiers surround him, and they're like, hey, we're going to kill you. And the guy's just like, not if I kill me first. Boom!
Exactly. I'll never give you the pleasure. And the guy's like, whatever, you're dead either way. So cool.
And can we talk just briefly about how Antonio Banderas is in this perilous situation? His brother is taking one for the team, tells him to run, and he just runs around a bush just so he can see his brother get murdered.
Yeah, yes. He tells him to run, and he's like, all right, I am now 16 feet away. Is that good enough?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, just how the Metal Gear Solid vision cone.
Huh? Oh, just a bush.
Yeah.
And we get a little flavor of how sociopathic Captain Crunch is, because the guy's dead. He could take the bounty. But no. He takes out his service sword and just chops off his head.
Yeah, he's like, hey, take the head, bury the body. Also, there's a hunk of silver there. I guess we can just leave it. It doesn't matter at all.
Why do you need silver when you got all this gold?
It's when he turns through the screen and Dora's like, that's a special tool we'll need for later.
Where are we going?
So Brother Banderas takes the little silver medallion that had previously been gotten from Zorro.
And he's like, I will wear this because I am a drunkard. Meanwhile, in the prison, fucking Odin is there. And they're like, hey, which one of y'all is Zorro?
And I was like, this is horseshit, because you have an establishing shot. You see this row of dudes who've been in prison for X amount of years, and there's only one fella who's not emaciated to fucking back. It's just Anthony Hopkins with a beard and an eye patch.
And they're like, which one of y'all is Zorro? And they're like, hey, we're all Zorro.
I'm Spartacus.
Yeah, Spartacus. That's what I was gonna say. And to be honest, all these guys have nowhere to go, so fuck it. Oh man, there was actually a short joke that reminded me of Rush Hour or whatever. One of the black gentlemen comes out, I was like, no, I'm Zorro. And he's like, you can't be Zorro, you're too tall.
Perfect.
Now, Zorro, for whatever reason, everyone's like, I guess he isn't here. He just crushes a guard's throat. Okay, he's been in fucking prison.
Yes.
Nothing for 20 years and still has the Herculean strength to kill a man with one hand.
That's the power of love.
There was another dead guy, and he's like, I'm just going to switch it up. No, me. Uno reverse. I'm the dead guy. Go bury me. And he digs himself out of a fucking grave.
Yeah.
I'm the dead guy now.
I guess you could make the argument the grave wasn't that deep and it was still loose, but it's still a Kill Bill Part 2 kind of moment where you're just like, what? How did he do?
Yeah, so
Magic.
He pretends to be dead, which I think pretending to be dead is actually pretty tough.
Clearly, he couldn't breathe. So he had to sit there, have all this shit put on him, and wait for the fellas to walk away, which he probably didn't know when they were going to walk away. So he just kind of chilled.
Yeah. Also, he's in this burlap sack.
This is an action adventure movie. Whatever.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters. Let's just move on to the swashbuckling.
Do I have to bring up the nuclear bomb and a refrigerator?
Please
Yeah.
don't. Please don't.
Do I have to bring up the inflatable raft and the airplane?
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, you can bring that up because that's fun as hell. What's next? I don't even remember.
Well,
Once
well,
it
they-
gets out,
California.
Yeah, like a couple things happen at once. So the governor of California, who was ostracized from California, comes back and he's heralded as the new governor of California. And also at the same time, again, Antonio Banderas, who is now a complete drunkard, crosses paths with Anthony Hopkins. So Zorro ex Zorro.
and
Yeah.
just from a historical note, this is in the 1820s. Is that where we are?
Let's say 1880s. That gold rush time, right?
No. This is way before that. I'm pretty sure at the very beginning it's 1820s, and then if we're talking 20 years later, it's 1840s. So we're talking like early 19th century. California is still a part of Mexico at this point, but some things might change. We'll see.
But what doesn't change is the weather. Man, it's hot, and Antonio Banderas is like, give me a cerveza.
Well, speaking of cerveza, I can't pronounce the actual brewery that it's from, but this is Tecate. Y'all know Tecate. This is a Mexican beer, Mexican style, adjunct lager. This is out of Baja, California. This is like a crisp, clean Mexican style lager. Not quite as much like direct corn flavor. Like, I'm sure there's corn in this, but there's not as much of that cloying corn flavor that you get from like Modelo or Sol or even like Corona. This is just super clean. Guys, it's not anything special. You know what you're getting. This is a working man's Mexican lager. This is the PBR of Mexico. This is solid. This is refreshing. I've got nothing bad to say about it. It's not going to knock your socks off, but this will get the job done, especially in a 24-ounce can. Drink you 2 of these, you'll be all right.
Now, would it be good enough to trade a maybe one-of-a-kind silver medallion just for a sip of?
Nope.
Fuck. Antonio Banderas does. He's like, listen, give me exactly 1 beer.
Yeah, like the next thing we see is Antonio Banderas in a bar, and like I guess this is a Mexican bar, and he's just like, I'm drunk. I want to get drunk. Give me a whiskey or whatever you Mexicans call it.
I love that this whole thing is going on, and he's like, oh shit, it's Captain Crunch. I'm going to kill Captain Crunch. And Anthony Hopkins is like, nah, you ain't. You would have fought bravely, but died quickly. Come here. I'm going to be Luca Sombrero Walker, and we're going to teach you how to be Zorro.
Yeah, he's basically just like a Hispanic Yoda at this point. He's like, you can't fight him, Captain Crunch. He's going to crunchitize you. Come back to my place. We'll chill for a little bit, and we'll be all right.
You know, if you use the phrase Hispanic Yoda, and, you know, I was to sort of fever dream up what I expected a Hispanic Yoda to be, it's definitely Anthony Hopkins, for sure.
Again, I just pictured Cheech Marin, but whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to say it out loud.
He's just quintessential Mexican guy, like him and John Leguizamo.
But my favorite part of this scene is like, you know, there's like a little struggle. Antonio Banderas is drunk. Anthony Hopkins comes in and he's like, well, hold on. You're not in any condition to fight someone whose actual job is to fight. And he's like, leave me alone. And then Anthony Hopkins is just like, all right, I'm going to put you down on the ground. Settle down, children. And he's like,
Yeah,
but I have never lost a fight. And it's just like, wait, you literally just got put to the floor by me, an old man.
An old man strong enough to basically crush a man's throat, dig out of his own grave, travel who knows how far to get back to where he is, and beat the shit out of Antonio Banderas. He
Mhm.
had it coming.
He had it coming. Oh,
No.
wait. Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're about to get some entrapment montage, too. Back at the Batcave,
A little bit.
Anthony Hopkins and Antoine Banana Hands basically discern that gay sex and sword fighting are the same thing. The pointy end goes into the other man.
Yes, and he had like plenty of practice buttholes that he could use to get better and better at his craft.
Practice buttholes. Ooh.
All that you need to get better at fencing is a facial hair change and the same montage that Catherine Zeta-Jones used in entrapment. He's sliding under and around all these little ropes. And then all of a sudden he's Inigo Montoya and he needs to go steal a black horse.
I liked it better when Catherine Zeta-Jones did it because she's hot.
Did you like though once he changes his facial hair, he like looks in the mirror and he gives it like a little face off. Ooh wee, you look good.
Yeah, I like how he also thought like that's all he needed was just to clean up a little bit. He's like, I've got this, and he just goes off into like the wild blue yonder for that horse.
Yeah, he was like this. What do you call it? Like he was like this Mexican. I don't know his ethnicity, but he was like this guy who was just like, I don't know, kind of a rough rider. He was just like a bandito of some type. And then, one evening with Anthony Hopkins, suddenly he's just like, I'm a gentleman and a scholar.
He takes that little bit of ego with him, Antonio Bandito now. He goes off to this like little fort or whatever, and then like he's there to get a horse. And it's one of those moments where like everything that could go wrong does go wrong. And it's amazing.
Yes. He rolls a natural 1 his first day on the job as El Dread Parato Roberto.
No, I didn't understand that, and then I got it. And yet, yeah, that's what it is. He's the Dread Private Roberts, but Mexican.
The clarification's funnier.
Oh, shit. And did you guys like the horse's hair? He's in there like, hello, horse. We are friends now, even though someone has clearly crimped and styled your hair.
I think it's like the exact same horse that previous Zorro had. Like, they made no attempt to even differentiate. It's just like, horse.
Well, that was Tornado, and this here's fucking Hurricane. The natural disasters. Teaming up to squeak the face. Earthquake and Typhoon. Now, he jumps onto this fucking horse, and listen, give it up for the stunt man, because this poor fucking dude is getting beat all the fuck over this tiny ass room.
Yeah, like the horse walks out of the place, after he tries to buddy with him. He's like, okay, horse, I'm gonna jump on you. It's gonna be super fucking cool. 1, 2, and then he just eats shit. Like all one shot, no cuts. This poor stunt man broke his everything for this shot.
Dude, he's just getting fucked up. And then it cuts to Banana Hands, and he's on the fucking horse, and it's just a mechanical bull with a camera mounted on the front. And he's like, oh, this is so dangerous. I'm riding on 2-speed.
And then he just happenstance, like, wanders upon Catherine Zeta-Jones, and,
And she is immediately into it. She's like, goodness, Batman's so sexy.
Yeah, she goes from 1 to just, like, pussy overflowing in a second.
We call that the Spanish gush.
Oh. I don't like that word anymore. Anyway, but like he does throw out like a line, like he's got his Zorro mask on at this point. Anthony Banderas.
Yes, that is his name.
That's where we are. He's like, be careful, señorita. There are dangerous men about.
And she's like, ooh, thanks, Tony.
He's like, I'm also stealing this horse. I must go.
Yeah. He just ends up like scurrying away at that point.
Just enough to get her attention. And he goes back to the place where he took the horse, and he sees there's just like a house full of bad guys, whatever. They're chilling, playing poker, doing whatever. He gets caught up in the whole mess. He doesn't get captured, but they rough him up a bit. And I think he runs into the same guy who he Robin Hooded earlier in the movie.
Are you talking about the Giant Gonzalez?
No, the not Cheech Marin fella. But also, he does run into fucking, I don't know, Sasquatch. That dude's fucking big.
Yeah, this guy's like 7.5 feet tall.
He beats this man's teeth out viciously with cannonballs.
Yeah, the funniest thing about this scene is there's like 40 normal-sized guys who can't do a thing to Antonio Banderas. He's doing his like swashbuckling, like, he gets knocked around a little bit, but ultimately he's coming out on top. And then suddenly there is one single 7.5 foot tall guy who's just like, well, I got you now.
Then Anthony Banana Hands is like, that's a huge bitch.
Well, good thing there's these convenient cannonballs here. Now I'm gonna fucking coconut your brain.
Like, okay, like I know it's like a swashbuckling movie, and that's how David takes out Goliath, of course. But man, he is hitting him so fucking hard that the cannonballs make like the little ting sounds you would get when you like bash two metal things together.
He then spits out all of his teeth.
Yeah, what's the name of the guy who comes up with like the sounds?
That would be a Foley artist.
The Foley guy. Props to the Foley guy on this, because it sounds like dude's getting fucked up.
He does. He falls over. He has that moment of just like, huh, kadoosh, and he's just out. Like, ding, 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 boss fight over. And the fucking movie, we go from swashbuckling to boss fight. By the way, Antonio Banderas has a loaded cannon ready to fire just immediately.
I forgot about that. Yeah, he just starts blasting, I guess.
So anyway, he starts blasting.
Yeah. But the next thing we get, once he gets out of that situation and the whole fucking barracks just goes up into a blaze.
Yeah, briefly, we have to mention like that cannonball tears through multiple walls through a very important support. And on his way out, the entire place just turns into a Michael Bay explosion. Like this fucking thing just goes up.
Well, there's like barrels of gunpowder or something there too.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, like it goes up, but I don't know how Zorro or Antonio Banderas, whatever his actual character's name is, I don't know how he gets out of there alive because it's a big explosion.
He gets out by doing the Red Dead Redemption whistle. He's like, whistle, whistle. And the horse is like, here I come. And then he fucking Princess Bride drops down and the horse is like, fuck that.
As you wish.
Yes. He ends up galloping away and everyone's like, oh my God, he's such a fucking stud. And
He's so ballsy.
he smokes his stogie wherever.
And they're all talking about the horse.
Fact. Dude, he gets back to the lair and Anthony Hopkins is like, listen, playa, you need swag because you ain't nothing but a pitiful clown and an attention whore. Check out this spoon I got. He's like, what's that spoon for? He's like, because I'm going to eat your liver with a side dish of fava beans.
Every time.
But no, before he gets back to the bat lair or whatever, he takes a stop at the church and is like, Father, you have to hide me. And he's like, get in the confessional booth. And he's like,
take your pants off while you're in there.
Yeah, just in case.
Yeah, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is in there waiting for the pastor to come in so she can confess something nonsensical and just unimportant. And even Antonio Banderas is like, listen, woman, fuck off for a second. No, I'm being chased. I'm in fear for my life. And he realizes this is his opportunity to be like, hey, remember that dude earlier with the fucking horse and the bandana around his head? Fucking hot, ain't he?
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I saw a man earlier, and he got me real horny.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I've had these unpure thoughts. Oh, please forgive me. He's like, listen, damn.
Ain't nothing wrong with you do more. As a matter of fact, here's my number.
And then he fucking flies away because Captain Crunch rolls in and he's like, wait a minute, here's the priest. He could possibly be in there too. Opens the door and the top of the door or whatever had been ripped open. Like, where did he go? Everybody's around there. Like, he's like, whoop, and he's gone.
It's not like there's a fucking chimney to go to or anything like that. It's just like an enclosed thing. Once you go up, you're still in the same room that every fucking body else is.
That's a fact.
Power of love.
We're just glazing over the fact that this man had a soft top confessional booth.
I mean, when the weather's nice, he can put the top down.
Man, I thought the Catholic Church was against convertibles.
I like it.
So then when he gets back to the Batcave, Anthony Hopkins is like, you're not cool, you're just a thief. I'm going to beat your ass with the spoon.
This is a moment for Anthony Hopkins to teach Antonio Banderas a little bit of a little bit of levity. He's like, listen, you don't need your sword all the time. Sometimes you got to be suave. You got to be cunning. Sometimes you got to be just pure Agent 47 and sneak into a place.
So how does he sneak into his next place? Dressed like Willy fucking Wonka.
It's pretty close.
Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka. Not even like, he looks like a clown.
Quote Anthony Hopkins, by the way.
Come on, player. Don't do him like that.
And I love how, they get dressed up. They're all cleaned up. Even Anthony Hopkins shaved his little flavor saver for the occasion. And they roll in.
He is some kind of a Don. He arrived last week from Spain via Lisbon, San Francisco, and several other cities that you've never been to.
And then Anthony Hopkins being the wingman. Yes, he's Spanish or some kind of Italian. Anyways, may we come in?
And he's got a big dick.
That's his heart so long.
Good Lord.
But they roll in, like, legitimately. Like, they have no connection to this party.
Yeah.
And Anthony Hopkins just hands over a paper. Like, what the fuck was on that paper? Couldn't have been an invite or anything. It's just like, here you go.
It's the paper that Ron Swanson
Yes!
wrote in that episode of Parks and Rec. It's like, I can do what I want. Ron Swanson.
There you go.
So there he is. He's like, oh, look at you, Catherine Zeta-Jones. You're so pretty. I can't believe you're here doing an ad for Z Mobile.
And there's like I don't want to call it sexual tension, but it's just
No,
like
it
the
definitely
tension.
is.
No, hang on. It's the tension between Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones clearly dance fucking each other and his not father. And like they're going at it and he's just like, what the fuck? He's so mad. He stops whatever important business that he was going to do with the other Californian fellas to go down into the soiree and be like, listen, y'all gotta stop being locked at the hips. This is real fucking hard for me, all right?
Listen,
And
this
he's
is
like,
public.
Nobody
Y'all
put
about,
Zeta in the corner.
listen, this is public. Y'all a little bit too close to fucking right now. Y'all,
I mean, he walks into the floor, right? Like, to separate them. Catherine Zeta-Jones, whisks herself away like, ooh. And Antonio Banderas is, like, sweating, putting his hair back like, oh, excuse me, sir. Whew. That was just, ooh, jeez,
I'm sorry. Did we misbehave?
there's a couple of lines here,
Oh,
and
shit.
I got you. There's a couple of lines here going on between fucking blonde soldier boy, and Antonio Banderas, who, like, I just love this little back and forth that they had. Because I guess Soldier Boy is into Catherine Zeta-Jones, who wouldn't be, but Antonio Banderas is like, aren't you the one who was chasing that legendary bandit earlier? Well, I wouldn't say he was legendary. Oh, so you caught him. Well, it's only a matter of time. Well, I think he'll think twice before going to confession. And then he just gives the biggest dick stare.
I got him.
Okay. Now, I know movie's got a movie, and we don't want to tear it apart too much. But at this moment, I went, oh shit, Captain Crunch knows he's Zorro now because he just gave himself away. No one else knows, besides Captain Crunch, that Zorro escaped in confessional.
No, that was a big dick move, though. That was a big dick move.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But it actually comes up later in the movie when, like, he takes him aside. We'll get there. That's what gets the gears in his head turning at that point.
But,
Yeah.
like, I think that was, like, I want you to know who I am, and I want you to know that you can't do nothing about it.
Boy, I'm going to take pleasure in gutting you,
Oh,
boy.
and of course, Antonio Banderas wins the approval of man whose daughter he's gonna fucking bang the shit out of. They go in the back with all his Californian buddies, like, listen, I have an evil plan, and this is my entire fucking evil plan.
I
And-
borrowed it from a film I saw called Wild Wild West.
No, I borrowed it from Blazing Saddles. We're just gonna make a new Rock Ridge, but this one's got gold.
I was like, I'm gonna make my own California with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. But a little bit later, they're all like, I guess, sitting at a table doing their old what's it called thing, like just being fanciful people. Very Titanic. This scene is very like,
Yes.
do you match up with the fanciful people that you were sitting around? And Antonio Banderas does his best.
No, he does a great job because he just uses the whole evening to shit on Captain Crunch.
And meanwhile, like, Catherine Zeta-Jones is giving her own big dick stare to Antonio Banderas. And I don't know what she's got down there, but regardless, I'm into it.
Oh, she's just reaching under the table at that point.
She puts a cup under there and it's empty, and then she pulls it back up and it's full, and she's like, would you like a drink? And he's like, yes. So now he's in good with the baddies, and they take a carriage trip. And guess where they show up? It's that same fucking place where they built Lovelace's lair.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it's one of those spots where they just filmed a ton of shit at. Almost like that one rock from that famous scene in the old Star Trek where, like, Captain Kirk's throwing rocks at that lizard man.
Oh, God.
I don't know
Yeah.
anything about what
I
you're
know
talking
exactly
about.
what you're talking about.
Well,
But
let's
they're
split the
there.
difference and say we both know something about what you're talking about.
Vaguely. They're there because there's gold in them Dar Hills. And not only is there gold, but when they mine it, it comes out in full bar form with fucking Spanish insignias stamped on it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, hey, cracked into this rock. This has 2 bars.
Yes.
And we, of course, this entire time, Governor Bad Guy is going on his evil scheme or whatever. So his plan is to mine all this gold, smelt it into bars, put a Spanish stamp of approval or whatever on it, and buy California from Santa Ana using that very same gold from his land. So basically, it's free real estate.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's like, hey, if Santa Ana finds out that we've got this gold, he's probably going to slaughter us. So we got to keep this gold for ourselves, and then we'll just buy this land. Then he can't do anything. So it'll be totally legal and totally cool.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I love how unnerved he is about it, because like everybody's kind of on board. Like, yeah, it's kind of a genius plan, you know, because like nobody's gonna foil our plan or nothing. But he's just like, listen, there's still that slim possibility we could be drawn and quartered. Just putting that out there.
It's like 95% chance we're all rich, 5% chance we will be tortured and killed.
But they should have been focusing on more nearby threats, because 2 in the Pink, 1 in the Stink is back. And he's got a speech like some CM Punk shit where he's like, I hate you, Mr. McMahon. Here I come with a pickaxe. And he comes flying down the rails. And he gets fucking shot like some skeet midair.
Dude, Captain Crunch uses his dead eye, nails him in midair. Like, he had like every bit of momentum from that little bit of cart riding he had, and he just gets stopped cold midair. Boom, drop.
Yeah, so this mine is mostly run by like child slave labor, but there's random like homeless drunkards too, including Three Finger Jack, who is like, I'm gonna get my revenge, except I've got a pickaxe and you have a gun.
Yeah, and of course, you know, everybody's kind of on board. You know, they're all evil except for future Zorro. And he has like a little bit of moment with Three Finger Jack. He's like, hey, you know, I'm here. It's kind of weird because like I feel like Three Finger Jack would kind of think he's in on it. Yeah. But no, he smiled anyway. Doesn't matter.
He's like, it's
I mean, what's he going to do? He's about to die. Like, he's going to die in literally 4 seconds. What's he going to do?
It to Alejandro. Ooh.
Oh, goddamn you, banana hands.
And I guess this is like part 2 of Captain Crunch putting everything together, because he's like, listen, I need you to come back to my my office over here with all my creepy shit.
I need to speak with you alone.
Yeah, dude, Captain Chatterbox fucking is like, hey, let's go have a private talk. And they do, and it's really fucking weird because he's like, I know that you're the fucking Zorro. And he goes, okay. Check out your brother's head in this picture. And he's like, okay, check out how fucking gangster I am. I'm gonna drink some of the head water.
Yeah.
I saw that and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Like that's not even a power play. That's like, you're gonna die.
That's gross, dude.
Well, he was undeterred by the guitarist of Tool, so whatever, he leaves.
Oh,
the fucking Adam Jones or whatever his name is, he has all that fucking weird shit in jars in his place.
Oh. So the next thing we get is, after all this goes on, Catherine Zeta-Jones decides to pay a little visit to Mr. Anthony Hopkins. It's just like, hey, this Alejandro guy, why don't you tell me a little bit about him? He makes my panties a little bit wet, so I'm curious.
And the whole time he's just like, fuck, that's my daughter. What do I do? I'm going to act little sappy. Maybe she'll go away.
Instead of talking about him, I'm going to tell you how much you look like your mother. And I don't really see much of Don Raphael in you, but I might see a little bit of Alejandro in you if you play your cards right.
And she's like, I like that. Let me go down to the market and get some silks from this lady who was my nanny. And she's like, I was your nanny. And she goes, no, you weren't. She goes, yeah, you look just like your mama and your daddy.
I gave that bitch flowers. Bitches love flowers.
Shout out to Abuelita.
Now, Antoine Banana Hands shows back up at the bat lair, and he's depressed, and so he peels off his facial hair.
I thought that was real the whole time. Like, I didn't think that was a thing. Because, you know, he shaves his stuff down to, like, where he was, and I thought he did some more, like, you know, manscaping to get it all fucking suave. He comes home and pops that shit off like Mr. Potato Head.
Dude, what if it was real and he was just so mad that he just tore it off?
Fuck. Or like, or after he fucking drank his brother's head soup or whatever.
Falling out.
Yeah, he just developed some kind of like.
No, he's getting encephalitis, definitely.
I don't know, some kind of leprosy.
Anthony Hopkins hits him with like some tough love. He's like, look, dude, your brother is dead. He's like, all I feel is hate. And he's like, good. Let the hate flow through you. Wear this Sith mask and fucking go carve Z's and shit.
You're not wrong. He's like, I miss my brother, and Anthony Hopkins is like, I miss like everyone that I've ever talked to, but you know how I get the fuck over it? I put on this mask, and it makes everything okay.
Then I start whipping the shit out of everything because it's cool.
Yeah. So this is where the movie really starts to pick up. This is the denouement, if you will.
And we will.
There's a goddamn fire Z out in the middle of the desert, and everyone's like,
And the governor of California walks out to his deck. Is like, why is this sideways in out in my lawn?
So Zorro has snuck inside, and Captain Crunch and the governor are talking, and he's got a map sitting on a desk. Zorro can't be more than 10 feet off the ground above 6 foot men.
Yeah, less than that. Because he's like arm length plus sword length.
Yeah, and no one notices him reach down with his sword, poke the map, lift it back up, and just chill there.
Yoink.
Like a
It's
fucking
literally-
like a fucking square of cheddar cheese that he has a toothpick in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it like, I guess his brain's running on Windows 98 because he doesn't even notice. Captain Crunch grabs the paperwork, leaves, and as soon as he shuts the door, he's like, loading. Wait a fucking minute.
Wait.
And then, as Captain Crunch is like walking away after he steals the map, these two guards come out and he's like, oh shit. And he's like, I'm Zorro. You two. I'm going to stab Captain Crunch if you don't bend over so I can stab you in the asshole. And they're like, please don't. And so he's like, fine, I'll kick you in the asshole instead.
Dude, this setup takes fucking forever, and the payoff's still pretty good. Like, it's like a solid 5 minutes, like, come closer, closer. No, put your weapons down. Closer. Put the other weapons down. Come over. Okay, you come on. Go there. You touch your toes. No, get closer to him. Hey, yeah. You know, that whole fucking thing.
Now smell him a little bit. Yeah, so then he just like shoves them out the fucking window. They're probably dead.
Dude, it's like such a far fall. Like, everybody who falls off of anything in this movie is just falling so far.
They're
To
just
their death.
generic putty patrol. We don't have to worry about them again. Next thing we have to worry about is I don't know, Catherine Zeta-Jones got some titties or something.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we have like another moment where kind of like what they had like when he was trying to steal the horse, but like, you know, he's full Zorro now, he's max level. So like Catherine Zeta-Jones thinks he's the bad guy, and he's like, no, I must fight you. That's still my father, winky face. And then Zorro's just like, listen, you're real cute and everything, but fuck is Zorro, dude.
Dude,
Yeah.
this sexy sword fight pays off in so many ways. Number one, Catherine Zeta is having a ball. Antoine Banana Hands is having a ball. Number two, the fencing here is on fucking point. They're both there. They're both fencing, and it looks wonderful. Number three, Catherine Zeta-Jones is almost nude.
If there's
Almost.
any scene in film history that can be filed under sexy sword fight, it's this one right here.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. This fight is just all sexy. Like, they get into a tussle, but they have these like moments of brevity in between where just like, okay, take my gloves off. Hang on 1 second. Put my sword in the hang. All right, round 2, miss.
I'm gonna fight you, and then there's like a kiss in between, and then we'll maybe fight a little bit more, and then my dick's real hard, but we're still fighting.
Like, there's even that little moment where, like, you know, they're on guard, and she keeps like flicking the tip of a sword. I'm like, this is symbolism.
100% symbolism.
Symbolism.
And then like she cuts the arm of his blouse. Yeah, because I mean he's wearing a blouse. Let's be
Yeah,
real.
that gets him real mad.
And then he's like, I'm gonna slice a little bit of your dress that you're wearing. And then it's just like, well, why don't we both just get naked anyway and fight like men?
Greco-Roman style.
Yeah, that's fairly close because like Zorro gets the upper hand, you know, gets her weapon away from him, and he has that moment, the same moment that Malcolm McDowell had before he put that flower in that man's butthole with Caligula, where he's like, I got an idea. And he swishes around for a hard minute, and you're like, what the fuck's happening? Hard cut to Catherine Zeta-Jones standing there for a beat, and then all her clothes fall off.
I loved that she was like, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to scream. And he's like, you're going to scream, all right.
Do you surrender?
Boys.
No, but I may scream. Well, I do have that effect on some people.
The
Go ahead.
guards come running in as Zorro flees, and she's like, "Don't worry, he got away. He ran. It was very vigorous."
He was vigorous.
Yes. And another moment between her and her father, and he's just like,
Like she,
Not
she
even
keeps
really my
saying
daughter.
vigorous.
You're kind of fucking hot. Stop it.
She keeps saying vigorous. Did he just dick her down right here? Did that happen?
Does anybody else smell fucking here?
Yeah,
Oh.
so the next scene that we have is honestly one of the most fun scenes in here. Like from here on out, it's just all good. This is all
Yeah.
good. But the sort of horse chase scene where Zorro has to ride two horses at the same time while he's standing on top of them.
And it's also one of those moments where this kind of thing can never happen again because the bad
No.
guys in this movie are blind, deaf, dumb, all kinds of shit. Like, he's clearly not on that horse. And they keep chasing that fucking horse in the back of the pack, picking him off one by one. And these guys are dying loud. They hit the ground like, oh! And like the dude ahead of him, right as rain, doesn't notice anything. And he gets to the last fella, the not Cheech Marin fella. Motherfucker is riding two horses at once. Like, he is so alpha right now. It rolls up to him. He's like, "Hey, how's it going? Oh, I'm about to kill you."
Like, it sounds tedious if we go through like every single thing in this scene, but just know this whole scene, it's fucking golden. This is a fun scene.
Yeah, all that just to get his fucking horse back.
Yeah.
Just whatever. It's such a hard tangent, but it's whatever.
Now he's back with Old Z, and Old Z's like, "Hey man,
See.
I've got separate plans for what's going to happen, so you need to go do your own thing." And he's like, "But why would you leave me now? Don't you know I'm Antoine Banana Hands?" And he's like, "I don't give a shit, bro.
No,
Go talk to my partner."
I think it's a brilliant scene. Like, Old Z, he's just like, "Listen, I need my revenge, and I need it now." And this is also a moment where Antonito Banana Hands or whatever actually becomes Zorro. It's no longer for himself. It's no longer for his ego. He's helping people. And I think it's great.
Yeah, Antonio Banderas is just like, he's trying to get him to help him out. And he's like, "What about the people of California?" And he's like, "They have Zorro, whoever the fuck that is."
They argue a little bit and everything. They go back
Yeah.
and forth. But the whole point of it is that he stole that map, and they find that their new dastardly plan is to get the gold out so they can pay off Santa Ana, but also erase the entire mine. Just blow the shit out of it with as much base. It looked like C4, but I know it's like TNT. Like, as much as they have.
Yeah, also, all the while, just like erasing all of the people evidence. Like, they've got all these slaves. They're locked up in cages, like wooden cages. They're just going to blow them up too. Might as well, right?
Fuck.
You know.
One and done.
So this is the crescendo of the film. And we're also having this scene where Anthony Hopkins is like, "All right, I got you, fucking Montero, governor of California guy. Bring in your daughter and tell her what's up."
Yeah, this moment here is kind of weird because I feel like Anthony Hopkins put his life on a line that really didn't need to be. But you're right. He just walks in. He's like, "Listen, you should tell your daughter that she's not your daughter." And we have this like weird thing where he's like imprisoned for like a whole 5 seconds
Yeah.
and then immediately released by her. I don't know. This was like whatever, because like that's like the little in between now and like the big explosion of action we're about to get into.
Yeah, there's like a little period of time where like he's saying things and the governor's like, "No." Meanwhile, Catherine Zeta-Jones is there and is like gradually picking up on what has happened in the past, building up on like the thing that the woman in the market said earlier. It's like, shit, this guy
Oh.
might actually be my father.
And then the swashbuckling begins.
Yeah, there's just more swashbuckling. There's a lot of swashbuckling in this.
Is there like a synonym for that, or is that just like the way of the road on that one?
I think it's
Maybe.
just the way of the road. But we do get some really cool like sword fights. There's a water slide death. There's zip
Oh,
line.
Yeah.
Dude,
There's
that
a-
one had that water slide bit had me and the missus rolling because like they had these couple fellas, they kind of get thwarted in their evil action and they slide down this little water slide. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cute." Hard cut to an 80-foot sheer drop. I was like, "Oh my god."
It's just like whenever Arnold Schwarzenegger shoots off the cliff in Predator.
No,
Yeah.
this is just like when I build literally anything in Roller Coaster Tycoon.
Like, I'm just here to kill you guys.
100%.
But Captain Crunch gets kicked down a hill. He survives. fucking Banana Hand zip lines down into Freddy's boiler room, and for a bullet to whiz in there just to explode it all.
Like, I don't want to say that was a waste of time, but like at least we got to see Zorro surf on a shovel.
Yes. He's ziplining down a fucking mountain and is like, you know what? I think it'd be fun if I had a shovel as a ski.
Yeah, like it's real dumb, like it's real stupid, but like the momentum of the action going on, he does it, and you're like, dude, that's fucking boss.
Yeah.
He
Like
could have
if
lifted his feet at any time. He just chose to stand on the shovel.
Yeah.
Correct.
If Batman did it, that would be fucking stupid. But since it's Zorro, I'm into it.
Now, Anthony Hopkins has gained the upper hand on the governor. And he's like, I'm going to kill you. And then little Zeta's like, no, don't kill my puppy. And he goes, he's not your puppy. And he goes, CPS violation. I got a gun.
Yeah, here in this little square off, it's like she wants them both to like not kill each other, but clearly that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
She's protecting both of them, and it's like, what are you shooting for here, Catherine?
She's trying to be like, there's got to be peace. And he's just like, no peace.
100%.
Oh, God.
100%.
Die.
Yeah. And like ipso facto, yeah, something funky happens. She kind of like deflects the bullet or whatever, and Anthony Hopkins gets hit in the shoulder. Now he's all hurt and whatnot.
I thought he got hit in the chest.
I don't know. It happens so awkwardly, but I honestly didn't care because like you have this swashbuckling, then you have Captain Crunch and Zorro also swashbuckling like 10 feet below.
Yeah, I think he gets hit in the chest because this is actually where, there's sort of like a final end point between the fight between Anthony Hopkins and fucking Montero, governor guy. And you think Anthony Hopkins is like down for the count, but he does something with this like wagon, and governor gets like something strapped to his leg, and anyway, he dies. Governor dies. He goes off a cliff or something. That's it.
Yeah, he gets pulled over by his wagon of gold.
Yep, and there you go. It's actually super violent because like fucking Captain Crunch gets like extra dead. He's already stabbed through the chest with his own sword. Cool thing, by the way. And Governator gets pulled off. All that gold falls off the edge and right on the Captain Crunch. Thus, he was self-crunchitized.
Ooh, were those the crunch berries?
Yeah, it's like those little yellow rectangles you get in crunch berries.
We had some wagon dragging, some indie swing, some prisoner saving. There's a speech about family. And it ends how it starts, but happier this time.
Is it happier? I mean, it's happier for
Kinda.
Antonio Banderas and Catherine Zeta-Jones because they just get to like, I
Bang
don't
it
know,
out.
they get to be very attractive and fuck for the rest of their lives. Anthony Hopkins just gets to die, I don't know, with his arch rival also being dead.
Yeah, but like the arch rival died first, so he wins.
I guess.
The only thing that I really truly disliked about this movie was this end right here. It's
Yeah.
cute, it's fun, whatever. That's not
Sure.
the part that bothered me. It's the goddamn song they start playing. It feels like a Disney movie.
Yeah, it's one of those like it's a little too fairy tale-y, if that makes sense. Like he even like walks off into the distance, into the sunset in his house, and the door shuts via ghost behind him. Whatever, I don't know.
I didn't pay attention to the song at all, but yeah, the way we close up is, you got Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones. They have a baby, and he's talking to the baby. It's like, the world needs a Zorro, and one day the townspeople will need you.
Dang,
That
that's
kinda
like
thing.
a third ass Zorro.
Yeah, I mean, it could be like the 6th or 7th. We don't know how many Dread Pirate Roberts there are.
Good point. And that's what I love about this movie. Like being able to see this again after X amount of years or whatever. This feels like a movie that's a sequel to something we'll never see. You could just use your imagination. It's just a hell of a lot of fun. The movie itself, though, it's just such a great time. The characters are great. The acting is superb. The action is just ridiculously addictive. And I have very little bad to say about it. There's like little things that irked me through the movie, but it's just like, it's a movie. It's got a movie. By the end of it, it's just such a reward. Like, hey, the good guys won, but it doesn't feel like a cliche. It feels like it's genuinely earned. And you're like, all right, good show, sir.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you 100%. Like, it's not really a cliche. It's a part of a series that we don't know the beginning or the end to. You get to look at a lot of beautiful people, mostly Catherine Zeta-Jones through the whole thing. It's a whole lot of fun. It's not the greatest film in the world by any stretch of the imagination. It's good. It's good. But I feel like Princess Bride, it's got a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. It's got a little bit of Indiana Jones in there. It's all of those things, but probably not quite as good as any of them. It's still very good, though. I enjoyed it a lot.
Elements of the past and elements of the future coming together to make something not quite as good as either. But it's still fun, man. Like, it was such a good time to see all these things that you knew from other action movies and all these things you've seen in these other swashbuckling films of the future to be used and refined and perfected. So for what Mask of Zorro is, I applaud it.
This movie walked so that Pirates of the Caribbean could run.
Brilliant.
Well, there you have it. That's The Mask of Zorro. If you have any strong feelings about the show or the movie, leave it in the comment section below.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons too. Hit the little bell icon so you know next time we got another one of these brewing.
Get out there and follow us on all of our different social media stuffs. We got Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. Fucking give us a try, y'all. We're not too bad. And if you don't, we'll carve a little Z in your forehead.
Zorro!